Hello everyone, welcome to the Secret of Zhongnan High program. In the past episodes, we talked about the privileged supplies enjoyed by senior CCP, Chinese Communist Party officials in Zhongnan High in terms of food, clothing, and accommodation. Today we are going to talk about the privileged supplies they enjoy in terms of films and internal films they watch. Before we start, please subscribe our program if you have not done so. Unexpected to many Chinese, in addition to food and clothing, the top leadership of the CCP also enjoy privileged supply of films. According to Zhang Baochang, who has worked in Zhongnan High for 27 years, Zhongnan High's internal films refer to public or non-public films shown in the lobby of the Western Building of Zhongnan High. They were viewed by senior CCP leaders, officials, and staff members. From the 1950s to the mid-1960s, senior officials such as Liu Shaoqi, Deng Xiaoping, Li Fuchun, Yang Shangkun, and Tan Zhenlin often watched films here. The films are generally for work or entertainment. They came from various sources, some from the Chinese Film Administration, some approved and publicized by the Ministry of Culture, some domestic films, Hong Kong films, and foreign films are provided by the China Film Company. The foreign political, economic, military, scientific, technological, or cultural films are either purchased or exchanged by the China Film Archive. There are also old films preserved before 1949. From the categories and content of films mentioned above, we can see that they are indeed quite different from the films ordinary Chinese people watch. The only reason for the difference should be that the CCP does not want ordinary people to understand the real situation at home and abroad. But for the privileged senior CCP officials and their staff, it's obviously a different matter. Zhang Baochang revealed that some of the films shown were working films, also known as reference films and review films, dedicated to the heads of the CCP, such as a documentary about China's first atomic bomb testing in 1964. These films have strict restrictions on the viewers. Because of his work, Zhang Baochang was able to see a lot of footages. He was shocked at what he saw in the film. He said that he never imagined the atomic bomb could be so destructive. China's Liberation brand truck, within certain distance, was blown onto the ground and rolled over. The train rails were twisted into fried dough twists, and the solid explosives inside the bullets and grenade liquefied. Moreover, the work films dedicated for the leaders also include a long documentary about the last emperor of China, Puyi, who was brainwashed and transformed from being a war criminal to a communist-loving figure. There are also Soviet-made films such as The Crane Are Flying, The 41st, or Western Europe and Japanese films. Most of these films could never be seen by ordinary Chinese people. As the supreme leader of the CCP, Mao Zedong naturally had a place to watch films alone. Mao had been watching films at the Hanhe Hall and Zhongnan High dance venue Chun'ou Zhai, which are separated from his residence by a wall. According to Zhang Baochang, the U.S. films Mao had watched include Romeo and Juliet, Suisse, Passing Beauty, The Picture of Dorian Gray, They Were Expendable, etc. In 1971, after the Limbiao incident, Mao's health became worse and worse, especially with a decline in vision and leg strength. Mao's wife Jiang Qing got a number of Passover films, that is, films selected in Hong Kong and air transported to Beijing via Guangzhou. The films that arrived in Beijing were kept by Jiang Qing. Others cannot even ask about it. So it was quite confidential. It generally lasts no more than 3 days before being returned to Hong Kong after Mao's viewing. Later, there were internal films specifically filmed for Mao to watch. In 2004, the Cultural Revolution writer Ye Yonglie recalled his experience in filming internal films for Mao himself in the magazine The Past. It was early 1976. At the instruction from Beijing, Shanghai set up an internal films production crew. Ye Yonglie, who was working at the Shanghai Film Studio, was appointed director of the Shanghai Internal Films production crew. This not only surprised Ye Yonglie but also surprised his colleagues, because Ye Yonglie has been called the general of the literary revisionist and big poisonous grass author in the Cultural Revolution. His home was raided. He even spent 3 years in the May 7th Cadre School labor camp to dig air raid shelters and made cinder bricks before returning to work in Shanghai. In an age of fairly strict political review, how can such a person shoot internal films? Later, Ye Yonglie understood that these internal films are directly assigned by the central government, specifically made for the entertainment of the central leader, code-named Internal Collection. So the requirements include high quality, high speed, and completion in limited time. After the assignment was given, the film had to be completed in 1 or 2 weeks. Ye Yonglie was known as a quick hand. Not only can he write scripts quickly, but he can also shoot films quickly. That's why he was selected as the director. Ye Yonglie revealed in an article that when the internal collection system was set up, Shanghai organized 2 filming crews. Ye Yonglie was responsible for the group with more than 50 staff to shoot film Taming the Beast and many Peking operas, all for Mao to watch. Ironically, many of these films Mao enjoyed were often criticized by the CCP during its revolutions. How should the Chinese people who have been brainwashed repeatedly by the CCP feel about this? Thus, in the later days of Mao, Ye Yonglie became a very busy person, acting as both scriptwriter and director. From May 1976 to Mao's death on September 9, 1976, 9 films were completed in just over 4 months. With Mao's death, the filming of the special internal collection came to an end. That's all for this episode. Before you leave, please subscribe, share, and like our channel. See you next time.